Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here today to finish up a week that I've been talking about Psalm 145. I hope you've thought about some things about it. I hope that if you're feeling like God isn't helping you, you'll think a little differently now. I hope you'll see life in a different way. And I want to finish up with the last couple verses of the psalm, beginning with verse 19. And it reads this way: He grants the desires of those who fear him. He hears their cries for help and rescues them. The Lord protects all those who love him. Well, if this is the only thing I said all week long, it would be worth saying and saying and saying and saying again. He grants the desires of those who fear him. Now, let's stop a minute. Fear doesn't mean to cower down and shaking in fear like a beat up dog or something like that. The word fear here means respect, hold in awe, recognize how majestic God is. For those people, and I hope that's you. I don't know where you are in your life. Only you know that. And I know some of you who are listening, because you've told me, are pretty discouraged in life. And I understand how that could happen. But I also want to say that's not the end of your story. There's a lot more yet to come. And it starts with this verse. He grants the desires of those who fear him, who respect him, who recognize his majestic nature. You see, everything comes from who God is. And if you think God is just a pain in the neck, well, you're not going to expect much from him. If you think God is some aloof spirit floating around here, there, wherever, you're not going to speak to him very often. If you think he's a God who's trying to make your life miserable, then probably the last thing you want to do is spend any time with him. But that's not who God is. He is nothing like any of that. Here it says he grants the desires and he hears their cries for help. Now, he doesn't just listen, it says, and he rescues them. He does something. Think about it this way. Let's suppose you're a little kid. And all of us were little kids at one point in time. And I guess if you're still a little kid, you're probably not listening to me. So those folks are excluded from this thing. But let's assume you're a little kid. And let's assume that you have a wonderful and great earthly parent, mother or father. And you're walking down the road. Now, if something comes towards you, what is that parent going to do? Stick you out in the middle of the street? No, they're going to stand between you and them. I remember one time I was moving and I had the U-Haul loaded. We were on the interstate and the blasted thing died. Now, I found out later it died because it was a gasoline engine and the previous guy had put diesel in it and it doesn't work. So we're stuck on the interstate. I pulled over on the side and my daughter was with me. And I said, look, we got to get out of this. We got to get out of this U-Haul. just in case somebody comes and hits it. So I said, let's go back, and you go back behind it. You go, 50 yards or so. You go way back there. Don't get in front of it. Because if somebody hits this thing, the last place you want to be is right in front of it. Well, nobody hit it, thankfully, and we got it fixed, thankfully, and we got to where we needed to go, thankfully. But the point being was, I was concerned for my daughter. And I didn't do anything unusual, I hope. I didn't do anything spectacular. I was just concerned for her. Now, let's suppose you're in that same situation. Don't you think God is even more concerned? I think He is. He says He is. We can take Him at His word. And it says He will protect all those who love Him. Now, obviously that's a caveat there. You got to love Him. As it said in the beginning, you got to fear Him. You got to respect Him. You got to trust Him. I don't know if you're doing that. But if you are, your situation is guaranteed by the best guarantor that ever existed. Now, it doesn't say you won't have any troubles. I wish it did. And if it did, I'd be the first one to jump on the bandwagon and say, hey, guys, let's go. But it says, in the midst of the troubles, He'll protect you. You and I have an immense privilege here. I don't know if you ever thought about it before. But the God who made this universe, that power which is beyond any power the human mind can create or even imagine, that God is watching over you. Not just on Sunday mornings, but every day of the week. So whatever happens, He is still going to protect you. Well, I don't know if you believe that or not, but I can tell you that's what He said. And I trust Him. And I hope you do too. As we come to the end of this week, I hope you got some good plans for the weekend. You can enjoy life. You can be a part of His kingdom. And I just hope it's a really, really special time. If you have any needs or concerns, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. So on Monday, I'll be back. I got some other thoughts to share. Holy Week starts this coming week. I'll be back. God bless you. Take care.